For quite some time now, we've heard from many AI leaders that there are going to be some massive job losses, but they're starting to walk back on those predictions. Over the past few weeks, we've heard from Sam Altman, Dario Amodi, and others actually starting to say that they're wrong about those predictions, and they were wrong about the speed at which jobs would disappear. Jensen Huang has also pushed back on the idea that AI is responsible for every layoff, which I'm sure many of us know just isn't the case. And some of the people who were warning about major workforce disruption are now starting to talk a lot more about the productivity gains and also the new jobs that are going to be created rather than there being some mass unemployment event. Now, that's a very interesting take because for the last couple of years, we were hearing a very different story. There were headlines all over the media talking about how AI was going to impact jobs. Developers wouldn't be needed anymore because we'd start using Claude Code and other tools to write all of our code. Customer service agents would be replaced by chatbots, and many other job roles would be displaced by AI. And so it sounded like we were just a year or two away or a few years away from a major employment apocalypse. And now the narrative has really changed. So what actually changed? Is it because the AI stopped improving? Well, we know the rate of change there is really high, so it's actually constantly improving all the time. Is it because it didn't meet the needs of organizations? Well, in some cases that might be true, but in many cases it is becoming a very powerful tool for CEOs to actually deploy into their companies. So what is actually happening? It's slightly different. I think that what's happening is we're starting to finally separate the AI story from the business story. And once you do that, the whole conversation starts to look very different. So the way people remember AI over the last few years is that it came along and then we started to hear about a lot of layoffs. And therefore, AI must have caused those layoffs. And in some cases, CEOs actually went out to the market, they have done recently, and said, we're laying people off because we're starting to deploy AI. Now, that helps their stock price in a big way. It's better than saying I overhired in the pandemic era, or the business isn't being run as efficiently as it should be, or we made some bad management decisions. So let's go back a few years to the period during and immediately after the pandemic. What was happening then? Well, a lot of technology companies were hiring at an incredible rate. Growth was everything at that time. Money was cheap, so you could borrow money at a very low cost. Investors rewarded expansion, and companies were just building teams, launching projects, and entering new markets and hiring ahead of what they expected to be very large future demand. There wasn't much focus on efficiency. It was all about growth. The environment since then has changed quite dramatically. Interest rates are now a lot higher. Investors have become a lot more wary and concerned more about profitability and efficiency rather than expansive growth. And so rather than having that strong focus on growth, they're starting to look more towards margins, profits, and ensuring that we get a good economic output per employee. So how much revenue are we getting for the headcount, the number of employees that we have and the amount we spend on payroll? So that's a very important point because it's at the center of the entire discussion. For years, a lot of companies were rewarded for simply hiring people, and now they're rewarded for making sure that they're generating enough output per employee. So it's more of a business story than an AI story. AI simply arrived at the right moment to help accelerate it. If we look at Meta as one example, they actually spent billions on Reality Labs, the Metaverse project. This is something that Mark Zuckerberg thought was going to be the future, and it just wasn't, didn't happen. So more recently, they've had to reduce headcount. Now, again, this is an example where they said it's about AI, but really they made some big bets on the metaverse and virtual reality, which just didn't pan out. So they needed to reduce headcount, and they're currently in the process of doing that. They made some very recent layoffs. So these were not really AI layoffs. A lot of people are saying that it was far more to do with overhiring in the pandemic period, especially with these massive investments into the metaverse that didn't work out at all. Block is another interesting example. So the company openly discussed AI and productivity improvements while reducing headcount. So it was another big announcement where there's a lot of job losses, and they came to market and said, this is because of AI. And guess what happened? Stock price went up, even though the reality is we know that they were very inefficient. Their economic output per employee was lower than it should have been for the type of company. So they reduced their workforce. So the reality today is that yes, AI will in some cases mean that there are some job losses, but some of the biggest job losses we've heard about in the industry are not because of AI. They're often because of overhiring and bad management decisions. So if we want to look at how AI is going to impact us individually, we need to have a look at which jobs will be positively affected and which will be negatively affected. And I've been involved in technology training for a long time and in the industry for over 25 years. So I've noticed throughout my career that in every major technology shift, every new innovation, there are new opportunities. So when cloud computing became mainstream, people started worrying about traditional infrastructure roles. But what happened instead? We now had these new career paths in the cloud engineers, cloud architects, DevOps engineers, site reliability engineers, cloud security specialists, and many, many more. AI is following a very similar pattern. Companies need AI engineers, they need AI architects and ML ops engineers, they need data engineers and AI security specialists. They need people who understand how to take these powerful technologies and turn them into real business solutions that can actually solve problems. And that's where cloud and AI becomes such a powerful combination. One of the things that often gets overlooked in the AI discussion is that AI essentially runs in the cloud. So most AI applications that you use actually run in the cloud. They're deployed in Amazon Web Services, sometimes Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, and other cloud platforms. So most of the time when we're deploying AI-enabled applications in the enterprise, we're leveraging resources in the cloud. A lot of the building blocks for our applications exist in the cloud. The easiest way for us to enable and build some kind of AI feature into an application is to leverage cloud computing because all of those building blocks have been created for us and they're managed for us. So don't worry about this AI job apocalypse. If you're the one who has the skills in AI to manage, to deploy, to integrate it into applications, to build models, then you're going to be secure going way into the future. I hope that was useful to you, and please subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos like this one.